Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back. Hey, it's great to see you all. Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. If you're in Melbourne, if you're in Melbourne like me, it is a very windy, rainy night out there. It is not a very happy night outside. There's a lot of wind out there, a lot of rain, a lot of crazy stuff going on out there. Good to see you all. Good to be back. Yeah, fortunately I was very ill over the weekend. Ended up coming down with a bout of food poisoning, and I was quite sick over the weekend. So that's why there was no more weekend shows over the weekend. I had to have some time off and recuperate. I'm still not 100% better, but I'm doing okay. What happened today? Well, today was the start of the judge's charge to the jury. Now, it didn't finish today, and I expect we still have some more time to go. So we are not in jury deliberations as of yet. I know some people have messaged me going, "Yay, we're finally in jury deliberations." We are not. Uh, Jury deliberations may be still a few days away. I don't know how many days. They haven't given us any roadmap of anything like that. Um, Nothing like that. Now, the other thing is we haven't had our sort of note checking done today either. It's been a little late today, and I don't know why. I'll probably find out in the morning. So I have to be very basic with what I tell you tonight, unfortunately, because I can't double check my notes. And normally we can by about 8 o'clock, but unfortunately today we haven't been able to do that as of yet. So I hope at some point we may have to do a bit longer of a show tomorrow, but I'll take you through a few things that was said in front of the jury today. And yeah, let me say hello to everyone. Hey, Factual Lie, you'll be on the replay crew. Insightful One, hey, good to see you. Woodland Creatures, great to be here. Chipmunk, hello, my friend. DJ's here. Texas, who else do we have? Julie Miller. Oh, Agenda Free TV just went on. I don't know why. Yeah, I will feel better. Thank you very much. Hey, Marjorie. Good to see you. Wendy R is here. Hey, Marco. What's up, buddy? Give you a high five. Good to see you, Marco. Hope you've been enjoying the trial coverage. And thanks as always for your help a few weeks ago. After the trial, maybe we can talk about it a bit more. Good to see you. Who else is here? Laura T. Betty C's here. Julie Miller. Hey, Julie Miller. Good to see you all. Hey, Alex McDonald, how are you? I I did not. I did not eat any mushrooms over the weekend. I promise. I did not do such a thing. Ping did not eat any mushrooms. Hey, Kibby, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Ferrari. Ferrari's here as well. All right. So one of the things here that Justice Beale told the jury, and it's about Dr. Sorrell. So if you remember who Dr. Sorrell is, Dr. Sorrell gave evidence in this trial. He was the telecommunications expert, and a lot of his evidence had to do with cell phone towers and location data. So how these cell phone towers worked, what sector the connection was coming from. So a sector is a part of the tower, and he was talking and giving evidence at the time about where these connections or possible visits might have taken place in these different areas. One was Lock, and another one, yeah, so one was Lock, and it says here Lock and Outram. And Justice Beale said to the jury today about using Dr. Sorrell's opinions as evidence, and he says here, you may use Dr. Sorrell's opinions as evidence of the accused having possibly visited the Lock postcode on the morning of the 28th of May, 2023. Justice Beale also continued and told the jury that there was no evidence that Erin Patterson had actually visited the Lock postcode. He also reminded the jury it is the prosecution's case that Patterson did visit Lock and Outram to harvest or to obtain death cap mushrooms. They said here, uh, yeah. So one of the things that happened towards the end of the day, as we were all wondering, sort of, where are we going with this? Justice Beale told the jury at the end of the day that they didn't need to bring a toothbrush tomorrow. So read into that what you want, and and you can tell me what that means. I don't know what that means. Maybe people like brushing their teeth at trial. I don't know. And yeah, there's another bit here I want to take you to if I can find it. Uh, yeah, yes. So one of the more light-hearted moments in the judge's charge to the jury today was this moment, and Justice Beale got a rise out of just about everyone in the courtroom when he went to say what I believe was Dr. Muldoon in his closing statement to the jury when he was talking about this particular doctor. And instead of saying Dr. Muldoon, he said Dr. Mushroom. So that got quite a laugh out of everyone, including a little bit of a giggle from Justice Beale himself. Yeah, that was quite a moment today when he said Dr. Mushroom. And yeah, he'd been taking the jury through what they call tendency, and it is Patterson's claim that she had a tendency to forage for wild edible mushrooms, and it is about what the witness told Dr. Laura Muldoon, and it says Dr. Laura Muldoon gave evidence. She asked Miss Patterson whether she used wild mushrooms in the beef Wellington. Miss Patterson said she thinks she told Dr. and he says Dr. Mushroom, but he means Muldoon. She had not used wild mushrooms. And he says, yeah, after he made this statement about Dr. Mushroom, he then told the court that he was just checking to see if everyone was still awake. And then, like I said, he had a bit of a chuckle, and then we all moved on. But one of the points of today's closing uh, charge to the jury, and here they say one of the things that Justice Beale took the jury through today was alleged prior inconsistent statements by the accused. And he tells the jury that he wanted to highlight 8 topics of alleged inconsistent statements. And the topics were whether the accused had a tendency to pick and eat wild mushrooms between the years of 2020 and 2023. Um, the source of the mushrooms that went into the beef Wellingtons, how much the accused ate of her beef Wellington, whether the children were invited to or free to attend the lunch on the July 29th, how much Gail Patterson ate of her beef Wellington. And they said one of the other inconsistent statements he wanted to highlight was when the accused claimed she started to experience diarrhea, whether the accused knew or suspected the lunch was the cause of Don and Gail's illness. Either whether the accused knew or suspected the lunch was the cause of Don and Gail's illness only in the evening of Sunday, July 30, 2023, and whether the accused knew that Don and Gail Patterson were in comas on the morning of Tuesday, August the 1st, 2023. Guys, give me one sec. Right. Sorry, my cats go mental any time of the day apparently, but including when the weather is a bit crazy outside. So there you go. They're the eight ones that Justice Beale wanted to highlight of topics of alleged inconsistent statements. And yes, yeah, I'm just trying to go to another bit. Okay. So Justice Beale also highlighted some of the evidence of Ian Wilkinson today. And I hope to bring you this more in depth, probably tomorrow night if we get some more note checking done. They say here Justice Beale had taken the jury through the evidence of Pastor Ian Wilkinson, who survived the lunch after spending a period in ICU. They're saying here today the jury heard Mr. Wilkinson said he remembered being invited to the lunch after a discussion with Gail and Don Patterson. Justice Beale said Mr. Wilkinson told the jury he thought the beef Wellingtons were on an oven tray and he told the police the same. The jury had been reminded about what Mr. Wilkinson said about Patterson's cancer claims. The pastor had told police Patterson said she had suspected cancer. He then gave evidence he thought she said she had cancer, and at the trial, his quote was, "I think she was saying she had cancer." And here, Justice Beale, in his charge to the jury today, also talked about Simon Patterson, and Justice Beale talked about the relationship with Erin and her husband over the years. The jury heard Simon said his friendship with Patterson had been strong, Erin Patterson, until late 2022. Simon said the lunch invite had come off the back of information related to a medical issue. The jury was reminded about this line of questioning, which took place in the opening days of the trial. If you go back, you'll remember Simon Patterson was the very first witness we heard from in week one. Week one, the first person after opening statements was Simon Patterson. So you have to go all the way back to week one. Stretch your memories. And he says here, Simon told the jury at the time, Erin, Erin Patterson had wanted to talk about this serious matter at the lunch. Justice Beale said Simon had been challenged on his recollection of the matter being described as important or serious. The jury had heard Simon had not used those words in his statement to police. Yeah. Justice Beale also warned the jury about evidence from the Patterson children. And the reason for this is because of the way the evidence had been given. They could not be cross examined on their evidence. And Justice Beale said this arrangement was done to spare the children of added torment. And he goes on to say that mistakes could have been made in their evidence, and they needed to determine whether they accepted their evidence in whole or in part. Yeah, Justice Beale also told the jury about about tendency evidence they should take into account when deciding whether the prosecution had proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Erin Patterson deliberately put death cap mushrooms in the beef Wellingtons. He says if you find that she had a tendency to pick and eat wild mushrooms, including putting them in meals she served to others, if you think it is a reasonable possibility that she had that tendency, you must consider that it increases the possibilities that death cap mushrooms ended up in the beef Wellingtons accidentally, rather than deliberately. The jury was also reminded about what they call hearsay evidence and assessing how you assess that. And he says here, Ian Wilkinson gave evidence that his wife Heather told him at the hospital that Patterson had different colored plates. So while Heather and Ian were at the hospital, Heather was talking to Ian and mentioned about these different colored plates. And Justice Beale said Mr. Wilkinson had discussed it with Heather at Leongatha Hospital, and Heather had wondered why Erin had had a different colored plate, and this is what the jury was reminded of today. Justice Beale said it was for the jury to determine if they believed that hearsay evidence provided by Simon and Mr. Wilkinson. He warned hearsay evidence could be unreliable because a witness might not have accurately recalled what happened. And he says here, also in relation to hearsay evidence, that Simon had said that Heather noted Erin served herself on a colored plate that was different to the rest. Simon also recalled Heather asked if Erin was short of crockery. Justice Beale said Simon said it once at the hospital with his parents, and then his dad. Yeah, so Simon said once at the hospital with his parents. Also said Simon said once. Yeah, his dad said Patterson had told them and she had some tests and that it was the elbow issue and it was positive for cancer. The jury heard Don told Simon it was ovarian cancer, and during the lunch they discussed chemotherapy and how to break the news to the kids. And he goes on like what I repeated before about the hearsay evidence. He says if it was for the jury it is for the jury to determine if they believe that hearsay evidence provided by Simon and Ian Wilkinson. He warned, Justice Beale warned, hearsay evidence could be unreliable because the witness might not have accurately recalled what happened. And there you go. That's what he had to say on hearsay evidence. Hey, good to see you all. Good to see you out there. Uh, yeah. Hey, Betty C, how are you? Hey, Heather Feather, good to see you all. Yeah, I did not. I did not. I did not do that. Hey, Julie. Hey, Lionheart. Good to see you. Hope you guys are having a good day out there. Good morning. If you're in America, if you're in Australia, it's quite late at night. It's quite late. All right. Let's see what else I got. Yeah. Justice Beale said today Erin claimed she had added the dried mushrooms to the Wellingtons to add more flavor, and the death caps were in that jar by mistake. The prosecution has claimed Patterson was a self confessed liar, and the accused killer, well, yeah, the accused claimed to have an interest in foraging, but no one else had ever known her to have such an interest. Justice Beale said her own children could not remember their mum ever foraging. No messages had existed referencing to foraging, and Patterson did not own any books on the subject. The prosecution claimed Patterson, Patterson, Patterson cooked up the forgery story because the Asian grocery store did not add up. Yeah. The defense said that Erin loved mushrooms, and the fact that kids don't remember her foraging was simply because they were just kids. This is what was told to the jury. Justice Beale said Patterson gave evidence of foraging and said her interest in death caps wasn't sinister. Justice Beale also said Erin Patterson claimed she dehydrated Woolworths bought mushrooms and stored them. Patterson also said she had a mixed container with Woolworths mushrooms and other dried mushrooms. The jury heard Patterson agreed she told Sally Ann Atkinson she bought dried mushrooms and used them. Patterson also said autumn was the season to pick mushrooms, and the reason she never mentioned foraging in messages to her online friends was because it was not mushroom season when those conversations took place. Along those same lines about foraging, the jury had been reminded. Patterson agreed that she had discussed her personal life to online friends, but she couldn't remember if she'd ever discussed cooking or foraging wild mushrooms. Justice Beale said Erin agreed after being transferred to Monash Hospital on 31st of July 2023. She spoke to a doctor who asked about foraged mushrooms in the beef Wellington. Patterson also disagreed with her daughter's claims that she had never foraged for mushrooms. And they say the jury was told that in more than 4,000 text messages between Erin and Simon, none involved discussing about foraging for mushrooms. Justice Beale also told the jury Patterson had admitted telling lies to police during her interview with them. These included lies that she had never foraged for mushrooms. Um, Justice Beale said, and she found out about death cap mushrooms too. She looked up whether they grew in South Gippsland. Justice Beale said, Patterson's Cooler Master PC, which was seized on the August the 5th, contained evidence of searches made to the iNaturalist website. Erin had suggested to the jury it was likely her who had made those searches. Justice Beale also said Patterson remembered ordering the food shortly after a search on the iNaturalist site, but she claimed she mostly used her phone to look up such things. So there you go. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the foraging thing here. Justice Beale told the jury about tendency evidence in which Patterson claimed she had an interest in foraging for wild mushrooms. Justice Beale said Erin Patterson said she picked and ate wild mushrooms during the COVID pandemic, which she foraged while going on walks in the Corumburra Botanical Gardens and at her 3-acre Corumburra property. Justice Beale said Patterson claimed she picked all the mushrooms at her property because she didn't know if they would be harmful to her dog. Patterson had also claimed she picked mushrooms at a rail trail to Leongatha and at her Leongatha property. Another part of today was Justice Beale said if the jury accepts Patterson was a person of good character, they could use it to judge her credibility and weigh up the likelihood she would commit the crimes she's accused of. He goes on to say good character alone could not erase the evidence. One of the other things he said today to the jury was that their decision would have to be unanimous. So that's another part for you too. I don't know who's emailing me. Hey guys, good to see you. First heat wave of the season. It is not a heat wave here. It is freezing. A duck would have frozen nuts right now. I promise. It is cold as duck nuts here. Hey, Inside for One. Good to see you. Why aren't you a moderator in this chat? That's weird. That's weird. I would like to know why. There we go. Here, another thing. Justice Beale said Patterson's evidence should not be given less weight while referring to good character evidence. He reminded the jury Simon suggested his estranged partner had got on well with his parents even after they had separated. Justice Beale also said Patterson had been very generous with her money to assist Simon's family with loans. He reminded the jury that there was no interest on these loans that were loaned out. He said Patterson appeared close to her in-laws. According to Simon, she according to Simon, she took her role as a parent to her children seriously. Justice Beale also recalled evidence that suggested Patterson was a devoted mother. And he says here, in the messenger group, that online friend group in the messenger, so the chat group, Christine Hunt suggested Patterson was an attentive and devoted mother. Others said they believed her to be a lovely mother. One Facebook friend quoted, "Her life revolved around her children." Justice Beale also highlighted the evidence of informant Detective Stephen Eppingstall, who said Patterson had no criminal record. Justice Beale reminded the jury Erin Patterson did not need to give evidence at the trial. He said she undertook to tell the truth, but her evidence should be assessed the same way as anyone else who gave evidence in the trial. Justice Beale also said if the jury believed Patterson, they should find her not guilty. He says it's not enough that you prefer the prosecution case to Miss Patterson's evidence. The prosecution must establish her guilt beyond reasonable doubt. So there you go. There you go. Must establish her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And it's not enough to just prefer the prosecution's case to Erin's evidence. They have to get over that bar, that high bar, that threshold beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the bar that they have to get off, that have to get over to be able to get to a guilty verdict. It's, he's trying to explain that it's not just a yes or no sort of equation. It's a high standard to be, beyond a reasonable doubt to find someone guilty of these crimes. So Marjorie said it's brutal here, going up to almost 100 F today in New Jersey. Jeez, really? 100 F? That's insane. Yep, another Maria said first heat wave of the season, so humid. I I'm glad the humidity is not here. We had far too much of that in the summer. I don't want any more humidity. I'm good. I am good, guys. I don't want any more. Let me see what else I have. Like I said, it's not going to be a deep show tonight because weren't able to have some of our more in-depth notes checked over. This has only happened one other time in the trial, and we weren't able to do it in depth until the next day. So that may be what happens here too. Here. Yeah, this is a good one. The jury were told they needed to judge if witnesses were honest, accurate, and reliable. Honest witnesses can be mistaken, he said. Justice Beale also urged the jury to use common sense and be careful to consider the agreed facts of the case. He also said Patterson's children were both young at the time, as he discussed child witnesses in the case. He said kids can remember important events and explained how children go about understanding the world around them. Justice Beale also said some kids struggle to answer certain questions, and the child's development made a difference in their responses. He also told the jury not to base its decision on information obtained anywhere other than within the court itself. He said the case had attracted unprecedented coverage and urged the jury not to be influenced by anything it may have heard. And he tells the jury, so disregard any outside information. Yep, he's saying you have to, you know, just use what you hear in this court, the evidence that is set in front of you. Like we said throughout the entire trial, the stuff we hear in court every day, the stuff I report to you here, it's not really for us. It's not really for me to report, really. everything that's done there, it's done for the jury. It's done for these people that are, you know, to find the truth and to find a verdict. It's all done for them. We are just sort of reporting and witnesses to what's going on. But the things we see day in and day out of this courtroom are done for their benefit so that they have all the information that they need. Yeah. Justice Beale said the case must be decided on evidence alone, and the jury should not be prejudiced about Patterson's various lies. He urged the jury uh, to not let sympathy for anyone involved hamper their judgment. He tells them this is a court of law, not a court of morals. He says, I'll give you directions later about the legitimate use you can make of any proven lies or proven attempts by her to dispose of or conceal evidence, but you must resist mere bias or prejudice, nor must you let sympathy for the extended Patterson or Wilkinson families affect your judgment. He also says, don't misunderstand me. I'm not asking you to be inhuman. None of us are robots. Any decent person would feel great sympathy for the Patterson and Wilkinson families given what has befallen them. But you must scrupulously guard against that sympathy interfering with the performance of your duty. So emotions such as prejudice and sympathy must have no part to play in your decision. Remember, you are the judges of facts. You must act like judges, good judges. He also explained the basics of the case today early on this morning. He says, um, the jury must accept his directions on law. And he says, the verdict you return has absolutely nothing to do with me. He says, the jury's role, he says, Erin Patterson's not guilty pleas and the jury's role in applying the law to the facts to decide the outcome as he explains to the jury the points of law which need to be applied to the case. He said the jury must accept his directions on law. Justice Beale told the jury he will endeavor not to make any comments about the case. And he said if he did, the jury should ignore him. He tells the jury again, you alone are the judges of facts. He also tells the jury that, again, they are judges, their opinion counts. And he says here, but even though I said to you, I've tried to steer clear of controversy in the things I've included in the chronology, you'll notice the headings at the top of the page are alleged date, alleged time, alleged event. He says, so if you think there's something in here that's wrong, it's your opinion that counts, not mine. And he's talking about a binder that was given to the jury, and it has like the chronology in it. And he says here, it's like a document. And he says, the document is broken up into sections of time and includes references to alleged events and statements from the Patterson trial. And like he says, so if you think there's something in here that's wrong, it's your opinion that counts, not mine. He also tells the jury that their verdicts must be unanimous. So there you go. That chronology was 84 pages, and he explained early on that it wasn't homework, but something that the jury could dip into. He said, Justice Beale said, references to disputed events would not be included in the chronology. He also goes on to say to the jury, those are matters for you to decide. Again, he says, I've tried to steer clear of controversy in the preparation of this chronology. So there you go. I know it's a bit of a short update. There's some of my sort of cliff notes from today. I hope to have my in-depth one tomorrow for you, where we can read a lot more large paragraphs of things and stuff like that. But it's one of those weird situations where I can't do it unless I'm 100% sure what I'm going to read out is 100% what it should be. So we've had this come up one other time during the trial. During what week are we in now? Week 9. And we had it one other time where we had to do a double show the next day because of this same situation. So I'm sure it'll be rectified tomorrow and we'll be able to continue on our way. Marjorie said, yes, not long now, everyone. We really are in those final stages of this trial. We don't have much longer to go. I can't begin to tell you how much longer the judge's charge to the jury might go. I have no idea. They don't tell me. They don't ring me up in the morning and say, hey, Ping, Justice Beale would like to tell you a personalized timeline on how long he has to go in his judge's charge to the jury, just so you can tell your viewers. No, they don't. They don't tell us anything like that. We just rock up to court in the morning and do what we've done every day for the past 36 days of the trial. By the way, I must have missed a day today because on Twitter I said it was day 37. It's not day 37. It's day 36. So sorry about that. I jumped a day forward. I think it's because yesterday Monday was a day off and we didn't have any court yesterday. So we had a bit of a long weekend. There was no court on Friday and there was no court on Monday. So I think my mind automatically counted Monday as a court day. And I was like, it's day 37. It's not day 37, it's day 36. Day 37 will be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow at court. Okay. I think that's probably it from me tonight, guys. That's probably about it from Mr. Ping. I know it was a late one tonight. I was sort of waiting to see if we could, get stuff done before I did the show tonight, but unfortunately not. It'll have to be tomorrow, unfortunately, and that's just to keep myself legally safe on things. Like I said, it's only happened one other time during the 36 days of trial, and unfortunately, it's popped up again. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow, but that's okay. I will do that for you tomorrow night. I am happy to do that. But it's good to see you all. I'm sorry you didn't get any weekend shows. I was sick as a dog. I was on the couch. I couldn't do anything. Even you guys would have seen at the end of the live stream on Saturday where I said I had to go. I had no more color left in my face. Like I looked like I can tell you like it wasn't too long after that I was way worse than I was on the live stream. So, as annoying as that was, I really wanted to keep going and discuss that other breaking news with you, but just so unwell, I couldn't do it. So, what's the plan for tomorrow? The plan for tomorrow is that this charge to the jury should continue tomorrow with Justice Beale, and we should get a much longer show tomorrow. And if I can get my notes and legal stuff done tomorrow, it should be quite a bumper show tomorrow for you. So it should be quite a long show tomorrow night. Hopefully I can get on early and get that done for you so we can be on at a more reasonable time. Yeah, I think that's it. Good to see you all. Hey, I hope you have a great day out there. Hope you have a great day out there in the if you're in the US, if you're in Australia. I will see you after court tomorrow for more updates. But we really are in that part of the trial now. We're in that you're not getting like that rush of evidence every day and like 20 witnesses that have come on a certain day of trial where I've got like 50,000 things to talk about. The sort of uh, the sort of topics have shrunken a little bit. So we're just sort of in that final phases of the trial now. All the hard work has sort of been done. We've been through all that. The evidence closed last week, and now we're in these sort of final few days. So not too much longer to go now. Not too much longer. Uh, what will the end of this week bring? I don't know. You'll have to stay here and check for my next show. For my next show, you'll have to check for then. I will. I will. Yeah, I wanted to come on. I know I didn't have a lot to share with you, but I at least wanted to come on and hang out with you and just show you that I'm not dead. Because I was getting emails from people going, "You haven't done a live show in 3 days. Are you alive?" I'm alive. I'm alive. I needed a couple of days off to get healthy again, so I'm fine. Do not send welfare checks. Do not send concern for welfare reports to the police. I am fine. I'm all good. Ping is healthy. Just had a bit of a medical thing on the weekend. I wasn't feeling all that great. So, all right. I will see you tomorrow for day 37. And I hope we have this little blip fixed up by the time I see you tomorrow. If I do, you guys will get a very long show tomorrow because we'll have a lot to catch up on. I'll see you then. I'll see you then. Hope you like the new setup. This is our new microphone, by the way. New microphone. Oh, where is it? This is our new microphone arm. See? Uh, there you go. It's our new microphone arm. Now it won't go back up. Good work, Ping. Maybe if we do that. There we go. There we go. New microphone arm. I will see you then. Until then, I'm Ping. This is my channel. We've been covering the Erin Patterson trial live from the courtroom for 36 days, which is every day of this trial so far. And I promise I will be here within moments of that verdict. When we hear that verdict in court, I will be here like that. And you will be some of the first in the world to hear that verdict. But only if you subscribe and hit that notification button. That's how you'll find out before anyone else. Because I'll be on here quicker than the media can type reports. I promise. All right. As the only YouTuber who has been covering this live from the trial every day for 9 weeks, I love you all. Peace out. Have a great day out there. I'll see you tomorrow for day 37. Peace out. Bye.